Now tonight, Horace Grant has tendonitis in his shin, will not play tonight, and Hubie once again adjustments for Orlando.
Yes, they'll start John Koncak at 7 foot at the power forward position. They need this to match up with Charles Oakley, one of the top offensive rebounders. Now the offensive flow will function around the Shaq, Hardaway, and also Dennis Scott. All three averaging over 20 a game. But the interesting matchup will be John Starks being posted time and time again by Nick Anderson or Dennis Scott.
Now the Orlando Magic are 19-6, the Knicks 18-6, thus the half-game separation between the two of them. The Knicks have won 4-1 on a home trip. They are 8-3 on the road, a good basketball team.
Well, the Knicks 8-3 on the road is big, Bob. You have to look at their scoring. They have 5 players averaging between 13 and 21 points. Excellent. They also have 3 rebounders averaging over 9.4 a game. Unheard of in this league. But rebounding means defense, and the Knicks are there. From a year ago, you can see they've improved on the field goal percentage against. The point differential, up a +3. That is a testimony to offense and defense. And then holding teams under 100, how about 14 times this year? And they are 14-0.
And our marquee matchup tonight, Shaquille has been back 3 games. He's playing well, but tonight, he'll get a real test with Patrick Ewing.
Well, last year, 3 wins for Orlando, 2 for New York, all teams winning at home. Shaq, 35-27, a +8. The rebounding, a +5. But how about the field goal percentage? That is a runaway. Shaq also won the battle of the block, 6-4.
So Shaquille O'Neal and Patrick Ewing, the Orlando Magic, the New York Knicks, only half a game separating them from the top of the Atlantic Division. After a commercial timeout, we'll join Ernie Johnson and then be back here in Orlando for the tip-off in a moment.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, a new journey in the relentless pursuit of perfection.
San Diego! Rebound! Oh my. Woo! I'm coming! What is it there? He's looking good! What a geek. Let's go.
Be a fan, not a fanatic. Look your best in NBA Authentics apparel from Lee Sport, officially licensed by the NBA, NFL, NHL, and Major League Baseball. Lee Sport, the brand for fans like you.
Oh, may the holidays bring you health and love and happiness and a chia pet under the tree. We're playing 2 tonight on TNT. The Knicks and the Magic, followed by the Kings and the Lakers. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta, joined once again by Reggie Theus. 10 games on the NBA slate tonight with the Mavs and the Pacers getting a jump on the rest of the league. It's a rare 6 o'clock start at Market Square. And good news for the Mavs if you're one of their fans. Jason Kidd back in there after the hip injury. Took his first shot, hit his first shot, then missed 12 of his next 13. Good defense by the Indiana side. Haywood Workman coming up with a loose ball. Kidd's back on D. Not much you can do if that stuff is going to go for you, as it did for Haywood. They are late in the 4th quarter right now. The Pacers with an 86-79 lead as Dick Motta looks for win number 900. Doesn't look like he's going to get it once again. A little piece of NBA history tonight. Boston's Dana Barros shakes Terry Porter and knocks down a 3 for the 80th straight game, and that breaks the tie with Michael Adams for the NBA record. This guy's hit a few threes in his lifetime, I would say.
Just a few.
Yeah, how about the game tonight? The Knicks and the Magic. What do you make of it, and why is it important for both sides?
Well, it's really a big game for both teams. I expected the Magic to have some adjustments and really to struggle for 3 to 5 games after Shaq gets back. You know, the ball stopped when Shaq came back. The team, before he went out, was running, playing, gunning, getting to the hole, but now they have to go inside out, and that's really stopped all of that driving to the basket and that free raying on the floor.
Now, how about Nelly's guys?
Well, Nelly's guys got to learn to win on the road against the Bulls and the Magic. 2 weeks ago, they lost to the Bulls. They got a great opportunity here to catch the Magic when they're down.
Knicks are 4-0 against Atlantic Division rivals. At halftime tonight, you're going to hear from the Kings' Tyus Edney, who has proven to be the steal of the draft at number 47. And, of course, we'll crank up the well-oiled highlight machine. But straight ahead, game 1 of our doubleheader. Patrick and the Knicks, Shaq Trick and the Magic. Enjoy it, folks.
Along with Hubie Brown, Bob Neal back at the Arena. Let's go to Craig Sager courtside.
Well, Orlando playing without leading rebounder Horace Grant. The medical report says sore right shin. Horace, how serious is it?
It's not that serious. You know, it's a day-to-day thing. I'm just getting treatment right now. Hopefully I can be back by Christmas.
How difficult will it be for you to sit and watch Oakley, Ewing, Mason hit the boards, not be able to do anything about it?
Well, it's very difficult, but, you know, I have confidence in my teammates that they'll go out and get the job done.
A lot of rebounds to make up for. Horace Grant, street clothes. Let's go back to Bob.
Yeah, Horace Grant looks like he's the owner, not Horace Grant the player. Here are the starting matchups.
Well, on the right, Orlando will match up the way we have it listed. But the key in this game will be John Starks. Will he pick up Anderson or Scott? And whoever will take him immediately into the post.
And Don Nelson, in his first year as coach of the New York Knicks, 3-time NBA Coach of the Year. Don Nelson has done a job with this team, and it was a tough takeover from Pat Riley. As you know, Pat has his style and Don has his. They're very different, but the Knicks are comfortable in winning under Don Nelson. And the man who's also done a terrific coaching job is this one right here, Brian Hill, who was without Shaquille O'Neal for 22 games, had his team to 17-5, but right now has a tough coaching job with the adjustment with Shaquille back and Horace Grant out tonight, maybe to be back tomorrow night in Detroit. The officials are Mike Mathis, Ken Maurer, and Hank Armstrong. This is our second week with the regular officials back after the lockout and the labor dispute and the new contracts. It'll be John Kondak playing at power forward tonight in place of Horace Grant. Shaquille and Patrick to jump it at center court. Mathis with the toss and point forward. Anthony Mason handling the ball. John Starks. Rebound, Anthony Hardaway.
From a defensive standpoint, the Knicks must get back in transition. In this building, Orlando looks to run at the drop of a hat.
Inside to Shaquille. Posted down in the paint, his turnaround jumper goes. That's significant when he tries it and makes it early.
Well, last Friday night, Bob, he showed us everything. He opened up and gave you every back-to-the-basket move that there is.
Patrick Ewing tries to answer. Shaquille got a piece of it. Down for the rebound is Mason. Kept alive by Oakley. Oakley playing with a sore Achilles tonight, by the way. This is Derek Harper. Knicks with a little bit of a new-look uniform on the road this year. Oakley knocks down the two.
Now, Kondak must get up on Oakley because Oakley will take that jumper.
Shaquille releases quickly and draws the foul from Patrick Ewing.
We wanted to bring that point up to you. Anytime you shoot and score or miss, Orlando is looking to go down the sideline, but keep an eye on the Shaq man. When he wants to prove that he is the best, he will get out on the break ahead of everyone, and they look for him immediately.
Give the foul to Charles Oakley. I told you Oakley is playing with a sore Achilles tonight. Shaquille O'Neal, who's only shooting 55% from the line since his return, shoots well early, but Hubie fades, generally speaking, free throw shooting wise later in the ballgame.
Good point, Bob. And this year, he's averaging 13 foul shot attempts in the first 3 games. Now, he was #1 a year ago at 10.8.
Magic 4-2, opening 2 minutes. As Derek Harper knocks it down, and Harper has his first 2 points of the ball game.
Well, Derek is just off to a great start, playing as good as any point guard in the league, a little shade below Hardaway.
Tough cover for Starks. Nick Anderson down in the post. Anderson has the size advantage and loves to score down on the post and draws the foul from John.
Game plan of Orlando. Starks matches up, take him right down inside. You're talking like Starks is giving away 3 inches here right now, and Anderson will go over the top. Coaching staff made a strong point today. Nick Anderson playing the best basketball that he has ever played here in Orlando, averaging over 13 a game, and then the key stat, 6.5 rebounds. And then also the steals right at 2 a game.
How about this? 21 points, 10 boards, 9 assists against Minnesota the other night with the flu. Nick, by the way, was sick during that game, and Brian Hill said, I'd like to have him sick every game if he plays like that.
Well, the defense tonight will be tested, especially on the boards.
Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal made it too tough for Patrick.
Well, he's gotten a piece of the last 2 shots by Patrick, Bob.
Here comes Nick Anderson driving past John Starks, the block, and the 6-4 Magic lead. Knicks with the ball.
You've got to get back in transition because the Knicks are pushing it this year.
Hardaway with his second rebound early.
Dennis Scott being defended by Anthony Mason. Back down to Shaquille. Traveling.
Traveling violation, New York ball.
Now keep an eye on the move down inside by Patrick. Shaq comes right up, and as Ewing, well, the tape machine just
went
messed
south
up on us right now, but as Patrick went up, Shaq was right there.
Well, if you're in Orlando, good place to go south. Patrick Ewing from the top of the key knocks down the jumper. It's tied at 6, 9:44 to go in the first quarter from the Arena.
Orlando's defense must be aware of the fact that the Knicks shooting percentage, three-point shooting, and foul shooting all up over a year ago.
Pick and roll. They don't get it to Shaq, but throw it to Scott for the three. Concat keeps it alive. Here's Hardaway to Nick Anderson.
Anderson has 4 points. O'Neal has 4. Knicks come back quickly. Mason takes it to the hoop and draws the foul from John Concat.
That was a sensational pass by Penny Hardaway, and he just got Ewing to come right to him. Now here he comes. Now watch as he draws Ewing. There's the beautiful dish off. Now if you notice, Orlando scored. The Knicks had that ball up here, and Mason went 1 against 3. The Knicks will do that this year.
Mason with 14.5 points, 9.4 rebounds, one of 3 players to average more than 9 rebounds on that front line for the New York Knicks. Of course, Oakley and Ewing being the other. Don Nelson looks healthy and happy and seems to be enjoying his job in New York, Rudy.
Well, also, Bob, because he's not the general manager, he doesn't have to worry about that. Just coach the team. And he made a great statement to us, and that was, I enjoy going back now and working on breaking down the films, where when you're doing both jobs, you allow your assistants to do that, and sometimes you lose a little touch of the X's and O factor.
Mason shoots again because of a lane violation. 9:16 to go in the first quarter, along with Craig Sager and Hubie Brown. Bob Neal with you from the Arena, tied at 8. 4 of the Knicks have scored. Starks is the only one who hasn't hit a basket so far.
This is a great matchup for this ball game tonight.
You won't see Hardaway miss that shot very often. Here's how quickly the Knicks get it out. Harper wanted the 3 and he traveled.
Good call. Yes, he did. He shuffled his feet. Harper is having a sensational season. All-star type of numbers. He's up 4 points over a year ago, averaging 16 points. But the big fact is he's shooting 47% as well as 40 in threes, and then on the line 80. Having a terrific year.
Shaquille, single coverage by Patrick Ewing.
Beautiful play.
And he rattles it home. How about Patrick Ewing? I just thought I'd keep it in the spirit of the ethnicity there.
O'Neal got popped right in the neck that time by Patrick, but a beautiful up and under move.
Anthony Mason trying to back in Dennis Scott. Ewing left alone. That's a 2. He stepped on the line. Patrick's taken 10 threes this year, 9 threes, and hit 1 of them.
Well, if the strategy at the defensive end will be to leave Ewing and double team with O'Neal, you know Patrick will launch them.
Here's Dennis Scott into the paint against Mason. Easy score from Dennis, his first hoop of the night. Dennis Scott averaging 20.5 points a game and 4 rebounds. And Dennis really stepped up big during the Shaquille O'Neal absence. Magic by 2. Here's the double team. 6 on the shot clock. Ewing. That time he attempted the 3 and missed it. 12-10 Magic.
You know, when that happens, Bob, you'd like to see them go right back in because there was still plenty of time to explore the post-up.
Shaquille finds the open man cutting to the hoop. John Concat. Have we seen that before? Concat on the dive to the rim, gets the lay-in.
Well, if it's Horace Grant, he's diving. If it's Concat, you know he's going to the front of the rim.
Magic by 4. Concat playing in place of the injured Horace Grant tonight at power forward. Mason has it stripped into the paint. Here comes Dennis Scott. It's stolen by Oakley from behind, re-stolen from Anderson. Anderson forces the shot up, had O'Neal standing beside him, and now the Knicks are back very quickly, and they have 4 on 2. Here is Starks getting the 3 from the corner.
See, this is the mentality, the change. They are looking to get out on the break, and you can see the Achilles heel of Orlando is their transition defense. 3 guys stayed at the offensive end of the floor and never even crossed half court.
Hardaway is fouled by Derek Harper on the drive. Orlando leading it by 1.
6:38 to go in the first period. This is a battle between the 19-6 Orlando Magic and the 18-6 Knicks.
If the Magic score 110.
The basketball is right here. The pass is coming into the Shaq. Now keep an eye on Charles Oakley as he comes for the double team. Then, when your man leaves you to double team, go to the front of the rim. And here comes Koncak right down and beats the rotation. Keep an eye on Koncak now. As soon as it comes in, go to the front. The Knicks are late. Harper is late getting there. And even if he was there, Koncak's going over the top of Harper.
Anthony Hardaway steps to the line, a 79% free throw shooter. He's averaging 25.8 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 6.6 assists. His numbers have been down some, expectedly, since Shaquille returned.
But he's still hovering right at that 10 foul shot attempts a game, and that is outstanding for a point guard or for any player.
Magic by 3 with 6:29 to go in the first period. Charles Oakley likes that 18-footer.
Well, Charles's offensive game is up, as well as Harper and Mason. These 3 players are benefiting by the distribution of the ball.
Nick Anderson looking for the pass and finding it. And inside, 6'7". Penny Hardaway has 4. Anderson has 4. O'Neal has 6. Both Scott and Koncak have a basket each. Everybody scored on the starting lineup for the Orlando Magic. That's a 2. Harper missing badly. Shaquille with a rebound. Shaquille wanted the lob, but Patrick was there.
You notice no double teaming early now.
The up and under, and Patrick got there to stop it and then block it.
Starks is going to go to the hole if he can.
Nick Anderson, good defense. He's called for the foul.
Let it catch him on a bump. That time, Starks really had no place to go. The defense was there. You know, Brian is questioning that one, but he definitely gets bumped.
5:33 to go, first quarter. Magic by 3. Going down to Ewing to work against Shaquille. Quick turnaround doesn't go. Anderson keeps it alive for Penny Hardaway. Shaquille has position inside, got the lob and the bank shot.
How about that soft baby hook, Bob? Catches it on the run, no dribble, and he has the ability to elevate. Now we're talking 320 pounds. Made that look easy.
5-point lead for the Magic, their biggest lead. Koncak steps into the lane, gets a steal. 3-on-1, Hardaway, Scott, and the foul against Starks.
Starks is upset. He thought he got ball, but Scott was strong enough to take it right to the rim. That time on that screen and roll down there, they did not trap. Good defense. Hardaway knocked it loose. Now keep an eye on it right here. Stark thinks he gets all ball. Hey, as a matter of fact, he does get ball.
Nevertheless, that's 2 personals on John Stark. And already in this game, 4 assists for Anthony Hardaway. Dennis Scott knocks down the 3-point conversion. 23-15. The Magic by 8, their biggest lead in this first period.
From the early going, the Knicks have kept everything rather simple. Orlando switching on all screen and rolls.
And the turnover, Mason tried to make the pass, and that's 4 New York turnovers here, a little more than halfway through the first period.
The Knicks being a big screen and roll team. Orlando is just switching and saying, you know what, post up the guy. So, you know, you have to be able to go in and then take advantage of the mismatches.
Hubert Davis checks in for the New York Knicks. He wears number 44, and he's going to try to defend Nick Anderson, which is going to be a tough defensive job for Hubert Davis. 10 on the shot clock.
Once again, one-on-one.
Shaquille's strength just backs Patrick Ewing down inside and draws the foul, the first on Ewing.
Now you're looking at Patrick Ewing. You know, he's 7 foot, 240 pounds. Now keep an eye on it. Look how big Ewing is. Well, stop and think. This guy dribbling the basketball has him by 80
pounds, 80. He's 7 foot 320. Ewing 7 foot 240.
And you could see it there, backing him in easily.
Oh, there's no way you can stop him. It's like the building is turning, and everybody better get out of the way.
What did Shaquille, as he missed the free throw, say last week? We've got it all here. We have the penetrator, we have the long-range bomber, and we have the atomic bomb, meaning himself. He misses both of them. Harper comes away with a loose ball. 23-15. Magic continue to lead it by 8 with 4:17 to go in the period. Hubert Davis, speaking of long-range bomber, gets it inside to Anthony Mason. Singled up against Dennis Scott. Too strong for him.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Bob. Now, that's the 5th time that they have posted up Mason. No double team. Hey, that's okay. But New York, no cutters going through. Absolutely no movement. They're telling the guy, hey, take the guy one-on-one.
The lob inside to Anderson, but Oakley went over for the double team. That leaves Hardaway. O'Neal rebounds over the back of Patrick Ewing and rattles it home, and Shaquille has 10 points, and the Magic are back up by 8.
You love the move, Bob. Get the rebound, keep it high, use your ball fakes, get Ewing to commit, then attack.
9-2 Orlando run to build this 8-point lead. Back to Ewing. Patrick is fouled as he drives into the lane. We're calling it.
Foul number 1,
Anytime
Penny
that you
Hardaway.
have 2 Warriors at this size going head-to-head, if your player is being abused at the defensive end, you must go to him at the offense because you want to keep his spirits up. Even if he misses the shots, the key is to whet his appetite that he stays in the game because he must defend, he must block shots, and the key is he must stay rebounding for you.
As I was saying, the foul, too, on Penny Hardaway. That's his first.
Patrick shooting 75% this year, averaging 6 attempts a game.
O'Neal doubling the scoring output of Patrick Ewing early, 10-5, 3:17 to go in the first period.
They've got to look at this. See, Hubert Davis has given away size, about 3 inches, and also physical strength with Nick Anderson. Hubert Davis continues to front. See, he's going to want the front. Watch as he comes into your picture. Well, in that case, you've got to look for the lob. All right, Anderson has got to stop being so busy, hold his spot, let him front you, and look for the lob.
Anderson with 2 free throws. Nick shooting 69% from the line. Big picture of Nick on the front page of the Orlando Sentinel, distributing $6,000 of toys to needy children here. Nick actually took some of his pals, went out, Christmas shopped personally for the toys, then distributed them. So I'm calling him St. Nick tonight.
Now, this is the 6th time in this quarter that Mason has posted up Scott. They go right back into him.
5 to shoot. Open man is Hubert Davis. This is from 3. Contact. Gets it out quickly. Anderson, it's 3-on-1. Shaquille. Oh, look at him run the floor. Whoa, baby. O'Neal is 5 out of 6, but he's not going to miss many like that. Rewarded for a great job of getting down court quickly. 29-18 Orlando. Crowd still buzzing. Now, here comes Shaquille with a rebound.
John Contact is doing a terrific job defensively, rotating, helping out, intimidating, and then rebounding, starting to break.
The shot clock is out on this end. That's a 3 by Dennis Scott.
You know he is always in that spot. What a year he is having in the threes. Right now, coming into this game, that's his 52nd make. I'm sorry, his 73rd make. He's shooting 43% in threes.
32-18. The crowd excited here. The reason the play has stopped is the shot clock above the basket on the Orlando end is out, and the officials are down on the scorer's table now. Mike Mathis working on that shot clock.
Whenever you play Orlando, you must remember Scott attempts 7 a game, Nick Anderson 6, and Penny Hardaway 4. So every time you double team and they pass out, you have got to run hard at the shooters.
You know what happened there? I'll bet a nickel. Once again, they had to adjust this board last Friday night we were here when Shaq rattled it loose on a jam. I'll bet he knocked the shot clock out on that fast break two-handed slam.
I wouldn't doubt that.
That's just a thought. I don't know. Craig Sager's with us. We'll have him check that out. Craig, what's the story?
Hey, Bob, they have an extra shot clock. If they can't fix this one, what they'll do is they'll set it on the floor at the end of the court here. The one at the Knicks end of the court is working, but they have to have both of them working, or, of course, it's not fair. Right now, they're trying to repair it. If they can't do it quickly, they'll bring one out from behind here and set up on the floor. Otherwise, they'll unplug the one by the Knicks end. They do have one ready.
Yeah, was it knocked out when Shaquille jammed the ball? Is that when it got loose?
Yep, knocked it out of joint.
Talk about impact.
Well, once again, you see the transition, the old story. Always reward the big fella when he's running hard.
Lights out. Stop the clock.
See, Koncak doing an excellent job. Now, he's outletted 3 beautiful passes to start the break, and then thunder from the mezzanine.
16-3 run by Orlando in the last 4 minutes. Orlando shooting 65%. The Knicks only 41%, so they're going to have to get some shots in there. But somebody, Shaquille or Koncak or both, got that one. Scott wants 3 again.
Oh,
yes!
baby.
Dennis Scott has 11. This is a blowout early. 35-18 Orlando. 19-3. The Orlando Magic have outscored the New York Knicks in the last 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and Don Nelson desperately needs a timeout.
Now keep an eye on the Orlando defense. This is Mason coming into the middle, posting up for his 8th time. Now this is Koncak playing Oakley. Now this is the value of having Koncak, and then watch Shaq come in for the shot block. Now you see every time Mason rotates in, Koncak picks him up. Well, that allows the Shaq to come from the rear with the shot block. So what the advantage here is you have 2 7-footers in the game, and you have 2 shot blockers, and then this opens up Dennis Scott, who is once again off and running in a national TV game.
Orlando with 9 assists on their 12 field goals, too. John Koncak, you may remember, Shaquille gets a rest here, and John now stays in at center. Donald Royal comes in at the forward spot as they've gotten smaller. Koncak played power forward for several years with Moses Malone down in Atlanta late in Moses' career. Scott with the rebound off the Knicks miss. 35-18 Magic. The Knicks can't throw it in the ocean with 1:20 to go, first period. Brian Shaw into the ballgame along with Donald Royal for Orlando.
Now the Knicks, you notice they switched that screen and roll.
Hardaway missing on the 3. Here comes Mason. Quickly back are the Orlando Magic. There's the steal by Hardaway and the return pass from Shaw.
Bob, they're just too quick for him in this quarter. The deflections and the fast breaks, big time.
Offensive foul on Derek Harper.
The fast break points in this game, Orlando 14, New York 3. Now, it's not just coming off the misses. It's coming off all of the deflections and the strips. Now, this is a missed shot.
Donald Royal, a great job taking the charge there. Wipe out the basket. The score stays 37-18 with 48 seconds to go in the first period.
The Knicks struggling in this quarter. 7 for 19 from the floor.
Koncak down inside to Hardaway, diving to the basket. Shaw's open. Airball nearly.
He's been struggling all year. He's only shooting 22% in threes, but he's always a threat.
Gary Grant is in for the New York Knicks. He wears number 23. Excellent acquisition. Played with the Clippers previously.
Orlando doing a terrific job. A terrific job in switching and then fronting the post-up people, causing the Knicks
to hesitate, Bob. And it's traveling or a forced pass. Boom, all of a sudden we have Orlando on offense again. That was the Knicks' 7th turnover for the quarter.
10 seconds to play in the quarter. Big pick from Contact. And Contact tried to set a screen for cutting Dennis Scott, and the ball is thrown away with 2.6 seconds. So the Knicks have an opportunity for a shot here. It's been about an hour since the Knicks have scored. Haven't had a field goal in the last 4 minutes. 2 seconds. Ewing has to throw up the prayer, which isn't answered. 37-18. The Magic over the Knicks at the end of the first period of play. Shaquille resting on the bench, but not before 12-3 and 3 blocks.
Anywhere until you go to Foot Locker, because when you vote for your favorite NBA All-Star, you're automatically in a Foot Locker $1 million shot sweepstakes. This shot's worth $1 million, if you can make it.
Beautiful but chilly Orlando. We're freezing down here. It must be, what, 50 degrees or something, you know? It's really tough. Craig Sager, we talked to Brian Hill today, who said he was concerned about Shaq's thumb coming into this game because yesterday at practice, Shaq walked in, said it was sore. What is the story?
Well, remember, he had surgery October 26th. He was not supposed to come back until after Christmas. He came back early. This is his 4th game. They're taking every precaution. Shaq said yesterday his thumb bothered him all day. He almost didn't practice. He came in today. I asked him how it was, what was the problem. He kind of looked at me and said, to be honest with you, I think I slept on it wrong. It's obviously fine tonight because the Magic just reeled off their biggest quarter of the year.
Charles Smith checks in for the Knicks. Shaquille off the bench and back in to begin this quarter of play from the arena in Orlando. And look at the points in the paint.
Oh, that's a staggering stat. How about these other stats? Orlando shooting 62, New York 35. Foul line attempts, 11 for Orlando, 4 for New York. Nothing in the paint. 7 turnovers for New York, and then the paint again, 22-2. Murder.
Brian Shaw handling inside to Shaquille. Open man Scott. The extra pass to Bowie. The ball movement. Rebound John Starks.
Oh, you can see they've changed their strategy now. They're going to double team Shaq. Let's see how long they stay with it.
And Anthony Bowie's going to try to play Charles Oakley as John Koncak is out of the game for the first time tonight. Open man Hubert Davis from long range. That's a triple for Hubert Davis.
Hubert, you must get out on him. He's shooting 48% in threes this year, and he attempts 3 per game. That's his 31st make of the season. See, there was Starks on that double team on Shaq.
10 on the shot clock. Oakley coming around to punch that ball away, and the foul.
Well, you know, Orlando just stretches your defense. Not only is Shaq a good post-up guy, but then you run Hardaway, Scott, and Anderson, all equally dangerous. Then they have the necessary three-point weapons. They're right at the top of the league in 19 threes attempted per game, so they stretch the defense.
Shaquille gets the double team. Bowie, the open man. The lob into Shaquille. Offensive foul on the hook as Shaquille spins around inside. That's his first personal. It's a 16-point lead for Orlando. 10:57 to go in the first period. Inside to Charles Smith, who got into the game to try to give him some size and scoring. Saving the ball to Shaw, to Bowie for the lay-in.
Now that's just athleticism. Bowie really picks it up in the fast break, and Starks did not want to pick up his 3rd foul.
Got a hold against Orlando. How would you like to be playing a team like the Orlando Magic? They've won 20 in a row dating back to last year, coming into this game here at home, and you're down 18 points in the first half. That's Don Nelson's challenge.
20 in a row. But how about 38 in a row against the Eastern Conference? I think that is amazing.
And team rebounding keeps it alive for the Magic. 39-21 over the Knicks with 10:22 to go in the half.
With all the great rebounding, the Knicks cannot get a second shot attempt.
And the turnaround jumper, O'Neal easily over the 6'10" Charles Smith as Ewing rests on the bench. Patrick carrying only one personal, though. Gary Grant hard to the hoop, and he gets it to go down. And we talked earlier about Gary Grant being an excellent acquisition for this Knicks team.
Terrific. You know, he gives you 8 years in the league, played with the Clippers, but he's a tough player that can play the point guard as well as the two position.
Played 4 years at Michigan. Was drafted by Seattle, I think, and traded on draft day. Shaquille just pounding it inside. 7 of 8 from the floor. 16 points in this game.
Every time you front them, they lob.
Dennis Scott tried to get past Oakley for the steal, and Oakley made him pay. 18-point Orlando lead.
Main thing is when you're a good post-up guy and you're being fronted, you're relying on the passing ability of the guy with the ball.
And the Scott, Shaw, penetration. Rebound Charles Oakley, outlet Gary Grant.
Oakley almost passed that to Mason, who was walking along the sidelines to get in the game.
Yeah, certainly not a bright move by Mason, because it clearly deflected the vision of these players, and Mason just kind of came out of the floor, and Oakley is going to sit down right now. Remember, he has a sore Achilles. Yeah, that was excellent defense against the Knicks, played by Anthony Mason as he was entering the game. Orlando by 18.
Well, you know they're going to wear out the Shaq right now against Charles Smith. The year that the Clippers made the playoffs, Charles Smith played the center position.
Knicks are sound asleep.
Once again, the guy from the top. Your man leads you, cut to the front of the rim. The Shaq man will find you.
Knicks have gone very small here and are down by 20. Hubert Davis tries to get him back with a 3. O'Neal gets the board, his 4th rebound. Almost threw it away. Brian Shaw punched away by Gary Grant. The hold on Anthony Bowie.
Gary Grant, an excellent defender, ran that down, caused the deflection from the rear. Main thing right now for the Knicks is they've got to get high percentage shots here, and right now for the last 2 minutes they're really out of sync.
Knicks just coming off a 4-1 homestand. They're 8-3 on the road so far this year. There's the penetration from Starks, and the nice pass to Charles Smith, who gets the 3-point opportunity.
With the first unit versus first unit, Orlando and New York have 2 of the top 3 first-team production units in the league. The other is Houston. These 3 teams, their first units, score, rebound, pass. They do it all. Now, you would never know it by this game tonight. We're just seeing one team being so good defensively that they're taking the Knicks right out of everything.
Smith misses the free throw. If anybody's been a little bit of an odd man out since the coaching change, it's been Charles Smith, only playing about 22 minutes a game. He started out the year strong, was injured, and he has not recovered because he's shooting in the 30s. Shaw knocks down the triple. 48-27. The Magic extend the lead to 21. Grant with a 2 just inside the line.
Well, Gary's not bashful. He'll get it up there for you. Plus, he'll take it strong to the basket. A good defender. A solid pickup for them. There you go. Oh, my. Hey, front me all you want, Bob. My guys will get the ball to me to the rim.
18 for Shaquille O'Neal, 50-29. Stark steps on the line. Could this be one of those nights?
Now keep an eye on the lob. You front me, I'm going to the front of the rim. The big fella right now, you know, you love to see this type of teamwork, Bob, because they're looking for him every single time down the floor.
And pick and roll with Charles Smith. He'll take the jumper from 18 feet. Rebound starts. Blocked by Anthony Bowie. 23 on the shot clock for the Knicks. And Derek Harper is going to get back into the game for John Starks.
Yeah, John just cannot get off the schneid tonight. We're talking about a guy who's averaging 14 points a game for you, an excellent three-point shooter. He's having a terrific year shooting-wise, right at 49%.
Charles Smith from long range. 50-31. Magic with 6:52 to go in the first half. Shaquille with 18 points. Patrick's been on the bench a long time in this period.
That time they get Charles Smith with a push in the lower back. They'll allow you to hold him off with your forearm, but you cannot use the hand and push off.
Watch In the Heat of the Night, weeknights and Saturdays at 7 on TNT.
I'd like to show you the lob pass. Shaw has the ball here, and Shaq is here. Now, as Charles Smith starts to come around to the front, keep an eye on the left leg of Shaq, how he seals and he goes for the lob. As soon as he feels you, he just moves, and now catch that arm. You see, look at that. That's like he was just moving a child. Boom. Charles Smith is 6'10", 235 pounds, and he just moved him right out of there, created the space, and put the ball in the hole. If we were worrying about his thumb, he just caught that very easily with his right hand.
You can see 32-8 in the paint, and you may have noticed that Patrick Ewing has not played this entire quarter. He set out 5 minutes 17 seconds and is still on the bench. We understand from Craig Sager that he's okay, just coach's decision. Shaquille O'Neal misses, one of his rare misses here tonight. Bad pass from Charles Smith, and back come the Orlando Magic. That's a three from Nick Anderson.
Nick attempts 7 a game. He's shooting 35% in threes. They're murdered. In transition, you've got to get out on top of them.
You see Patrick Ewing on the sideline up at the top of your screen, just off the screen now. He'll be back in here in a moment. 8 to shoot for the Knicks. Mason with the penetration draws the foul.
Now, Bob, if the Knicks are going to continue to do this, now this is the 9th time that they have posted Anthony Mason, and they don't have anything to show for it. If they're going to post you and they play you one-on-one without double teaming hard, you have got to score down inside.
So the Knicks are very small. They got Ewing back in, but they have Mason, Harper, Gary Grant, and Hubert Davis. 3 guards, a small forward, and Patrick Ewing on the floor, trying to find some combination, is Don Nelson, to get some points on the board and to answer the Orlando Magic, who are leading it by 22. Other scores in the NBA tonight.
Oh, that's a good one with Detroit at Miami, up 10.
Derek Harper has Davis and Gary Grant. Grant has it blocked by Brian Shaw. Hubert Davis answers.
You're better off in a 2-on-1. Give the ball up earlier. Force the defender to commit himself. Patrick got a piece of that. As a matter of fact, I thought on the way down.
5:24 to go in the period. Hubert Davis misses the 3. Rebound Mason. Blocked by Shaquille. Mason stays with it.
Now, that's one of the very few offensive rebounds for the Knicks. In spite of the fact that they're ice cold, shooting in the low 30s, they cannot be consistent tonight. And we're talking about 3 great offensive rebounds.
Another lob to Shaquille O'Neal. He has 20. I wonder if Charles Oakley's ankle is bothering him. I see Charles Oakley, who's off the floor, down on the baseline with his ankle on that Achilles stretch device. And that missed shot is rebounded by Anthony Hardaway.
Orlando cannot play any better than what we're seeing here right now. They are functioning on all cylinders. The offense is clicking. They have a great offensive game plan.
The Fields turnaround may have been touched by Patrick Ewing. Here comes Hubert Davis. Ewing down quickly also. Nothing going just right, but Derek Harper with the tip-in.
You must continue to push, Bob. The Knicks have got to continue to break, continue to push the ball, because you can see Orlando does not run back. They're getting now 3 times in a row. They've had a major advantage on the fast break.
Hardaway gets around Derek Harper, who flopped and wanted the call. It was not coming.
You know, even if you did get fouled, referees do not like to call that because they think you flopped.
That's an offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
And Dennis Scott is going to check back into the Bucket game.
Don Nelson is bewildered by that call by Kenny Mallett.
Patrick Ewing.
right now, nothing is going right for the Knicks. The main thing for them, though, is, hey, you're down 20, you're on the road, you still have 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Continue to push the ball, get back to your initial game plan, try to cut it down to like 12 or 14, and then work to get it down to single digits at the end of 3.
Nick Anderson being defended by Hubert Davis. They want to get him isolated over there, and do. Anderson backs him down relatively easily, but misses the shot. Here is Mason.
That was good intimidation by Patrick Ewing coming over to help out.
Charlie Ward into the game for the first time tonight. He wears number 21 for the Knicks. Harper on the penetration. Tough shot from Derek Harper.
That was murder. That was really a hard shot. And, you know, CONCAC right now wanted a charge. They'll never give you a charge if you're underneath the basket.
Good steal by Charlie Ward. Anticipated the pass. Came in, picked it off in front of Donald Royal. Makes the pass to Hubert Davis, who misses the 3. Here come the Orlando Magic. They have 3 against 3, and Hardaway is left open. Rebound Davis. Ewing looking a little out of sync tonight. He's only 2 of 9 shooting. I don't know if anything's wrong with him or not, but he looks a little lethargic. Posting Ewing. Don't look too lethargic there as he backs in John Conley.
He accepted the double team that time. As soon as he saw it coming from the right, he just went right back to the left.
Charlie Ward commits the foul. Timeout, New York Knicks. They have pulled to within 16. 2:33 to go in the first half.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Hyundai. Some of the
in the Pacific Division with Mitch Richmond, Tyus Edney, Sacramento's a buzz. Chip Carey and Dick Versace will have that telecast for you from the Forum in Los Angeles. Royal to the free throw line after being fouled by Charlie Ward.
In the game so far for the Knicks, Ewing, Starks, and Mason, 3 of your key offensive players, 6 for 19 from the floor.
Says it all. And the score, 58-41.
Main thing now is just keep coming down and looking for high percentage shots.
Quick shot from John Starks. For him, that is high percentage. And the Knicks have cut what was a 22-point lead down to 15 with 2:19 to go in the half. And I'm sure the Knicks are thinking, just get me down near 10.
That's right. Just get it down into that 12 category and then try to knock off another 6 at the end of 3. Get it down into the single digits.
Penny Hardaway backing in Hubert Davis. Doesn't have much of a prayer down there, but Penny misses the shot. Ewing with the rebound. The Knicks can cut it to 13 or better on this possession. Hubert Davis.
Oh, my. Soft shot that time by Hubert. Hubert needed a stronger move than that.
John Starks just picked up his 3rd personal foul, and that, Hubie, was the 12th Knicks turnover in this first half.
Well, that and their inability to get to the offensive boards, Bob, really hurting them. And when you think of, you have 3 of the top 16 rebounders in the league, Mason, Oakley, Ewing, and you cannot get any offensive boards. Well, we've got to credit Orlando and the strategy of CONCAC and the Shaq man together.
Now Joe Wolf on the floor. He wears number 12. He and CONCAC are posted out high here in this offensive set. Looking for Hardaway on the post up. There's a triple team. And Hardaway scores anyway. Penny has 10.
But everyone that was triple teaming him was under 6'4".
Penny 6'7". Yeah. Take this and give you some change. Oakley draws the foul. Joe Wolf got it.
Foul number 12, Joe Wolf.
Talking to Don Nelson today, he said we keep things very, very simple at the offensive end. Well, we can see that tonight. On any screen and roll, Orlando switches, and they're not taking advantage. Well, every time that they're posting up, they're not getting anything. Low field goal percentages, but then again, also very few foul shot attempts.
Coming up in just a minute, 24, the Reebok halftime report. Ernie Johnson with Reggie Theus in our studios. All of tonight's scores and highlights. And Chip Carey out on the West Coast will talk with Sacramento Kings guard Tyus Edney, who's been one of the young surprises in the NBA in this young NBA season.
Now, the technical foul was called on John Starks, who is sitting on the bench.
So they interrupt the free throws for Scott to go down and knock one down at the other end. John with 3 personal fouls. Very frustrated tonight. He's not playing well. And he's carrying the 3. Anthony Mason's going to get back in here for the Knicks.
Well, right now, New York 3 for 8 on the line, 4 for 9. If you're making your foul shots right now, as poorly as you're playing, you would still be down only in that 12-13 category.
Scott draws the double team. Oakley's going to come away with a steal, but lose it out of bounds. Let's hope Oakley's all right. He runs into a crowd of hostile people over there, meaning the Orlando bench.
I think the thing that's just missing tonight is the intensity level and the screeching of the sneakers from a defensive standpoint of New York. They're being rather passive tonight and overpowered.
Clearly so. Minute 13 to go in the half. 61-44 Orlando. Hardaway just drove right past his man. Ball's out of bounds belonging to Orlando. 7 on the shot clock.
Now Hardaway definitely hurt his hand, because as he came in there, Oakley rotated into the lane and took the charge. And you can see he hurt his finger.
On the right hand.
Now keep an eye on him now. Now watch to the right of your screen. He's going to blow by and he's going to run right into Oakley. Right there.
Then as Scott misses the 3, lost out of bounds off the hands of Anthony Mason. It'll be Orlando ball with 58.9 to go in the half. Orlando has scored 61 first half points. Oakley can't get it from Wolf, and Wolf knocks it down. Another excellent Orlando acquisition, and the lead is back to 19.
And Joe Wolf is shooting 56%. You got to get out and guard him because he can shoot.
Nice ball movement there to the weak side into Patrick, but he has it stripped. Anderson, Hardaway. Oh, he missed the lob. That was a crowd pleaser attempt there. 28 seconds to go in the half. Ewing with the pull-up. Mason kept it alive, gets the loose ball foul.
Yeah, that was good call by Mike Mathis. Mason over the back. Once again, the Knicks had a major advantage. 4 on 3 in that situation. A little ball movement, even could have had an easier shot.
Patrick Ewing really struggling. 3 of 11 tonight. Shaquille O'Neal, 9 of 12. Shaquille, as you can tell if you can see it all here tonight, is resting at the moment. It's hard to miss when he's not on the floor.
Now, Dennis Scott is not a shot blocker, but that is his second strip into a turnover, just as good as a shot block. Joe Wolf was a first-round draft pick in '87, 13th pick by the Los Angeles Clippers. He's played on 6 different teams. He's been in the league 8 years, 5 points, 4 rebounds. But what they like about him here in Orlando, he is a complete player.
The noise, the strange noise you hear here at the arena for Joe Wolf are, they say wolf sounds. I don't know what a wolf sounds like, but I don't think it sounds like they're trying to sound like. 10 seconds in the half. Grant with the penetration. Big bucket by Gary Grant with 4.7. Orlando still got a chance for a shot here.
Plenty of time.
Long range. Anderson missing at the buzzer. And the Magic lead by 19 at the half. Dennis Scott, Shaquille O'Neal. How many times that combination has drilled opponents this year? 32 points between them and 9 rebounds. And the Knicks, 42% and 13 turnovers.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok. Come see how the game is played on Planet Reebok.
Halfway home at the Arena, the Magic with 38 straight regular season home wins over teams from the East, and tonight they're laying it on the Knicks by 19. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta with the Reebok Halftime Report. Got a jump shooter in the house. It's Reggie Theus. We'll hear from Reg in just a second. It was in the closing seconds of a tight overtime loss to the Suns last Saturday when Jason Kidd hit the deck at Reunion. He stayed down so long, everybody was thinking knee. but it turned out to be a strained hip flexor muscle. After sitting out a loss in Chicago Tuesday, last year's co-rookie of the year ready to go again tonight in Indiana. Only shot 3 out of 15 for 9 points, but did have 10 assists. That one to Jim Jackson, who was just 3 out of 11 from the field. Tells you the kind of night it was for the Mavs. Haywood Workman tells you what kind of a night it was for the Pacers, knocking down a 3. Reggie Miller, 16 on the night. Didn't have to do much because Indiana was in control. Mark Jackson with a season high of 20 points. Get it back. He's got a foot on the line. It's a long-range 2, and it's a 90-79 Indiana win over Dallas. That's 6 out of 7 for the resurgent Pacers, and the Mavericks have lost 15 of their last 18. The Toronto Raptors and the Chicago Bulls playing at the United Center. Everybody wants to be like Mike. Even Tom Dorr and Red Kerr got the masks on courtside. Ron Harper gets them going to MJ, Scotty. 8-point Chicago lead. All Pippen did in the first quarter was score 19 of the Bulls' 31 points. That one's good for 3 from way out. And the Chicago Bulls, 11-0 at home. They've won 11 straight, and they have a 35-27 lead in the second period over the Dinosaurs. Detroit and Miami playing at Miami Arena tonight. Detroit gets 16 out of Grant Hill in the first half. They've got a 54-43 lead over the Heat, who scored 10 points in the first quarter. Boston's Todd Day tied Larry Bird's franchise record with 24 points in the second quarter. The Celtics hanging on to an 80-77 lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Milwaukee and Philadelphia are in the fourth quarter at the Spectrum. The Bucks with a 16-2 run have opened up a 76-70 lead over the Sixers. And Scalpers night off at the Omni tonight. New Jersey in town to play the Hawks. It is 57-56 in the third period. Let's backtrack just a hair and talk about the Indiana Pacers. I know you talked to Larry Brown today. How's he feeling about his bunch?
Well, Coach Brown is concerned, but he's not panicked. I mean, again, tonight he played without Rick Smith, and they win a basketball game. You know, they went out last year, and they got Eddie Johnson and Ricky Pierce to open up the outside game along with Reggie Miller so that Rick and Derek McKee could post up down low. But he's concerned because they haven't had much time on the dance floor together this season. But he says when they're all together, they're as good already as they were last year.
And they didn't have much time together tonight either. Rick Smith sitting this one out with an ankle injury. He is day-to-day. Later tonight, after the Kings and Lakers play Game 2 of our doubleheader inside the NBA, will feature a Miller family Christmas as Cheryl and Reggie reminisce in the spirit of the holiday season. That should be warm and fuzzy. You don't want to miss it. When the Reebok halftime report continues, he was the 47th pick in the draft, and he was a steal. You'll hear from a guy you'll see later tonight. The Kings' Tyus Edney. The keys to Sacramento's 15-8 start has been the play at the point of Tyus Edney, a second-round pick, number 47 overall, who at times has played like a lottery pick. Chip Carey, who will call the Kings-Lakers game, sat down with the Sacramento Rook.
You can't beat Christmas time in California. Balmy weather outside, and tonight inside the Fabulous Forum, the action will be hot and heavy as well as the second-place Sacramento Kings take on the homestanding Los Angeles Lakers. And one reason why the Kings are playing so well is their spark-plug point guard, Tyus Edney, who tonight makes a homecoming. And Tyus, what a year you've had. The game-winning shot against Missouri in March Madness time, the championship won by your Bruins, and now you're the starting point guard for the Sacramento Kings. What has gone on in your life?
A lot. It's been a roller coaster. But it's been really exciting, and so far I'm just glad it's worked out the way it has.
Now, you grew up a Laker fan, saw some games at the Forum. What was it like the first time you played against Los Angeles?
That was fun. I remember looking forward to it and just coming out and just wanting to play my best and do the best I could. And I know I grew up watching all the greats play on that floor, and it was just really exciting to be able to play against the Lakers.
Everybody says it's a big step-up adjustment for a player coming from college to the NBA level, especially at the point guard spot. Can you talk about some of the differences in the two types of games?
It's definitely a lot different, I guess, in terms of the defenses, the types of things that you need to get in the offense. You know, you have great players on both teams that you're always playing against, and it's just like every night you have a great guard that you're playing against, and it's just a thing where you have to bring it every night.
Tyus, good luck tonight. Thanks for joining us, and should be a great game. It's the Kings and the Lakers coming up next. Let's send it back to Ernie Johnson in our studio.
All right, thank you very much, Chip. Nice matchup tonight at the point. You got Tyus Edney and Nick Van Exel. What do you see there?
Well, I think the keys, first of all, the Lakers are on a homestand of 9 of their next 11 games. I think that's important after their slow start. But the keys tonight, definitely Tyus Edney and Nick Van Exel, because I think really Mitch Richmond is going to have some trouble, or he's going to actually do a job on Eddie Jones, because Eddie's going to be playing with that mask, and it really affects a player.
But Tyus Edney, the adjustment to the pros, I mean, you've been there from the college to the pros, and he's taken to it pretty well.
You know, he came in, played his part, took over Bobby Hurley's game in his spot, so he's doing really well, and they're very, very happy with Tyus up in Sacramento.
That is
just a real spark plug, a water bug, real quick.
Wind him up and watch him go, and you'll see that later tonight here on TNT. Before we hit the break, a programming note: our NBA colleagues at NBC will crank out a Christmas Day doubleheader on Monday. The Spurs and Suns at 3:30 Eastern, followed by the Rockets and Magic in a rematch of the finals. Check it out on the Peacock on Christmas Day. Back in a minute. It is a 65-46 game. Orlando routing New York.
I am not going to get it.
Orlando's won 55 of their last 57 on their home floor at the Arena. Shaq has 20 tonight, Patrick Ewing 7. And the result, Orlando 65-46 with a third period coming at you.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok. Come see how the game is played on Planet Reebok.
The Knicks, with the second best road record in the league, 8-3, are down by 19 at intermission. Coach Don Nelson, obviously you're disappointed, but what went wrong?
Well, I think they were laying for us. What do you think? Small lineup, big lineup, it didn't really matter. They just dominated us, and we weren't getting back defensively, and then we lost our intensity defensively, so we have to get that back.
Big lineup in the second half to get the boards, or the small lineup to shoot the threes?
I'm going to try our big lineup and see how that looks. I've been wanting to use it for the last few games anyway, and this will give us a good opportunity.
All right, thanks for being with us. Good luck.
All right, big lineup, so that'll be a big changeup. We know one thing, Don Nelson will have something up here to try, even though he's down that many points. By the way, the Knicks defensively, you really were giving them a lot of publicity on our open on how well they're playing.
Yeah, right.
They gave up 65 to Orlando. That's the most points Orlando has scored in the first half this season.
I think you have to give Orlando their due. 7 block shots. They forced 13 turnovers. 20 possessions, they're in transition. The Knicks, no player over 7 points. Orlando, the big 3. Shaq with 20, 12 for Scott, 10 for Hardaway. Perfect half.
And we talk over and over again doing these Orlando games about what a great acquisition for this team was John Contact. Let's look at highlights.
Now this is a strong pitch out to Scott. Dennis making one of his 2 threes. He was 2 for 4 in the half. And then the Shaq man doing his thing. He catches you on the top side. He's so strong. He holds you off. Little baby hook here. He was 9 for 12 from the floor, 2 for 4 from the line, and then he had 4 block shots. You can see the shooting percentage. The Knicks recovering a little bit, but this is a wipeout in the first half. Shaq dominating Ewing right now in all of the major categories. The starting fives, no contest, we tell you. Magic on a roll, points in the paint, the big difference in the game, and that's naturally the Shaq man. He's on fire.
Hubie, what is the thing about Shaquille O'Neal dominating Patrick Ewing, an all-pro center, so regularly when they match up?
Well, I think his team gets the ball to him in high percentage shot areas, and then I think that the Shaq answers the bell. Plus, now let's face it, he picked up 4 baskets in transition. Now that's 8 points right there. And you know, he's out hustling tonight. And any time that he matches up with Ewing, it seems to bring out the best in his game.
And very soon, matter of fact, this weekend, he'll match up with Hakeem Olajuwon.
Oh, that's going to be big on Christmas. Now the Knicks are with their big unit. They have Harper on the point, Anthony Mason at the 2 guard, Smith at the small forward, Oakley at power forward, and Ewing going big.
As Nelly said, he wanted to try this unit and see how it worked, and this is a good chance when you're down 19 points. Shaquille shoots an air ball, rebound, Charles Oakley.
Well, Patrick got a piece of that.
Oakley from 18. Not this time. Rebound, John Contact. Quick outlet, Anderson. This is a team that Orlando would think they could run against, I'm sure. Scott, ball fakes and misses. O'Neal is there to follow. Patrick really left O'Neal alone for that rebound, and Shaq has 22, and it's a 21-point Magic lead.
Well, the rebounding 26-21 at this time in the game in favor of the Knicks.
And the Knicks come out with Harper trying a 3, the rebound, and back come Orlando. So not a good start for the Knicks down here. 21 points to begin the third quarter of play. There's only half a game separating these two teams in the Atlantic Division. New York foul is against Derek Harper.
Now, Harper, known as a defender, was on the all-defensive team 2 times in his career. You could see as the pass was coming in, he definitely undercut Hardaway.
That's the 3rd on Derek Harper, by the way. John Starks also with 3 fouls for the New York Knicks. Crowd very quiet here, but then I guess they're thinking about their holiday season as the ball game is a blowout as we begin the 3rd quarter of play. Ball out of bounds off the Knicks. It'll be Orlando inbound.
11 seconds on the shot clock. See, right now, by going big, Don Nelson is trying to prepare himself for the second half of the season, and most of all at playoff time. He thinks that he can get away with Mason at that 2-guard position.
Mason trying to defend Anderson on the floor. Cutting hard to the hoop is Hardaway. Offensive foul. And it's against Penny Hardaway. That'll be his 2nd personal.
You know, from this angle, I could not see what he did, but he must clear him away here. Keep an eye on it as he makes his move. Oh, there it is. The left hand came right down into Harper's face.
Ewing 3 of 11 in the first half. Answers with a hook here, and he had to throw that past the flailing arm of Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, that's what you wish that he would do. Take him in the paint, score some moves. Right now, though, the Knicks need some defensive stops. They need a run and then take advantage at the other end.
Boy, there's a lot of man bumping against each other. Patrick keeps him away. Knicks running, Patrick running. Wanted to lob from Harper.
Well, the Knicks are running, but they're lumbering. It's not a blazing fast break. No double team.
Patrick Ewing on the double pump from 6 feet, and that's 2 consecutive points from Patrick, and it's a 17-point Orlando lead.
But it's nice to see him in where we know that's where his strength is. In the paint and in that little baby fadeaway to the left of the box.
Charles Smith denies Dennis Scott the drive. 6 on the shot clock. Down to Shaquille, played by Oakley. Oakley knocking the ball away. Nice defense by Charles. 3 on the shot clock for the Magic.
Well, that time O'Neal tried to overpower Oakley, and Oakley really laid it on him. Beautiful strip that time.
3 seconds on the shot clock. 9:16 to go in the period. Well, Magic by 17.
They're undecided at who is going to take the ball out of bounds and which play they want. What you have to be careful of here is inbound and then right back to Scott. Well, now we don't have to worry about that because you know they're not throwing it back to contact.
Reminds me of my old rec team. We all call the same play at the huddle.
Yeah, right.
Here's O'Neal with a jumper blocked by Patrick. And that violates the shot clock. And with 9:13 to go in the period, 67-50 Magic. Knicks trying to get something happening with their big lineup.
Now that's Patrick's 2nd block at his half. Now he should have 4.
3 for Derek Harper.
Derek
Harper knocks down the triple.
Yeah, well, Derek is shooting 41% in threes. You've got to get out on Starks and Hubert Davis when they're in the game.
7 straight points for the New York Knicks, a 14-point Orlando lead.
More information on how you can support the
Orlando by 14. 14, that sounds like some kind of football lead, which very slickly leads me to the CarQuest Bowl promo. Join us for some hard-hitting college football. The 23rd ranked Arkansas Razorbacks, the North Carolina Tar Heels, 7:30 Eastern time next Saturday. Consensus All-American linebacker Marcus Jones will try to contain the 1-2 punch of quarterback Barry Lunney and wide receiver J.J. Metters of Arkansas.
Anytime that you have Mason on a 2-guard who can put the ball down on the floor, that's going to be the problem. He's not accustomed to playing guys out at 20 to 25 feet away, and when they put it down, the hand went right out there and they got him on a hand check.
Hardaway to Concat. Dennis Scott with the loose ball. Anderson with the long rebound. Lob into Shaquille. Anderson with another offensive board.
foul number 14.
And the foul is on Anthony Mason. His 3rd. So Starks with 3, Harper with 3, and Mason with 3 for the Knicks.
Well, Nelson was looking, hoping that they would come up with a loose ball here. I mean, three second shot opportunities back to back. The ball is rebounding long, and your guys are releasing on the fast break instead of getting the loose ball.
Shaquille's early free throw shooting was going pretty well. There's a technical on the floor.
Well, this is, say, Kenny Maurer just hit Mason with a technical foul. This is the second technical called in the game, both by Maurer. And one thing is, if you're a player in this league and a coach, you all know that he does have, in the old days we'd call it rabbit ears. You cannot say anything because he'll light you up in a hurry. Now that's, in a big game, you can't afford 2 points, 2 giveaways.
So Shaquille misses both of them. Scott hits one in between on the technical. It's a 15-point Orlando lead with 8:28 to go in the third quarter. Big lineup for the Knicks. Charles Smith handling the ball at 6'10". Now Ewing. He tried to post Mason down there, and Koncak kept him out of there. Loose ball foul.
They're catching Charles Oakley underneath.
Foul number 34, Charles Oakley.
That's Oakley's third.
His third.
Now keep an eye to the left of your screen. Right there, Charles over the back of Koncak. You always know that's the reason why Koncak is in this game. Oakley averages 3 to 4 offensive boards a game. And you know tonight he's been unheard of underneath.
Penny Hardaway tried to get the reverse.
Oh, bad pass.
And the New York Knicks with another turnover. Hardaway will go for the 3 and get it. Anthony Hardaway knocks down his first triple. He has 13.
Isn't that the way, Bob? You try to force a pin pass, they intercept it, and then they crush you with a 3.
Pick and roll. The reversal of the ball down to Patrick. Got Shaquille airborne, draws the foul on O'Neal. That's his
Foul
second.
number 32, Shaquille O'Neal.
That was
Patrick shoots 75% from the line.
Interesting coverage that time.
Patrick
Up
Ewing,
until now,
32.
they've allowed Shaq to play Ewing one-on-one, a minimum of help. That time they ran Koncak right at him, and they forced Ewing to the baseline.
Ewing only 5 out of 14 from the floor tonight. Stark's back on, and Harper is going to sit down.
Replacing Derek Harper.
Well, during the course of the year, Patrick is only getting to the foul line 6 attempts a game. A year ago, 8. Everyone is talking about Patrick is not the main focus this year. He's averaging 18 shot attempts this year. He averaged 18 shot attempts last year. So you wonder where all of this is coming from. All you have to do is add and divide.
Hardaway posted against John Starks. Double team, cutting to the hole is Koncak. Orlando with 7 to shoot.
Well, that was nice movement by Charles Smith.
Koncak saw there was not much time on the shot clock and launches the 3-pointer. Here comes New York.
The Knicks are doing a good job in the initial defense, but they are slow to the missed rebounds and slow to the loose balls.
Patrick with the penetration, nice dish, and then the strip by Dennis Scott as he defended Charles Oakley very well. Back come the Magic.
That's Dennis Scott's third strip.
Shaquille pounding it inside. Rebound Oakley. Another errant pass, but a good catch by Charles Smith, who gets the dunk. That was a near Knicks Orlando steal.
Bad move, though, by Dennis Scott. When you're the only defender back, you never try for the steal. Get back, defend, and make the guy on the break shoot over the top of you.
You might have thought that the 6'10 Smith would have too easy a time shooting over the top of it. As does Hardaway at 73-57, and Penny has 15.
Remember we told you at the top of the show, they're going to post Starks every time he's in the game, and they're doing a great job of it.
Charles Smith from long range, air ball. Off Oakland, Orlando ball.
Now, as soon as Starks came in the game, Hardaway takes him, goes away from the double team. But in order to do that, you have to have a game.
Orlando 16-point lead, 5:57 to go, third quarter. Pick and roll with Shaquille and Hardaway. Hardaway's going to take it all the way in. Beating Starks, getting the reverse, and Hardaway has 17, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Oakley's going to take it inside. Mason to Ewing from 15. Keel bothered that shot. Again, poor ball handling by the Knicks tonight.
Well, this unit, you can see, is definitely out of sync. It's a big team, But in the early going here, they're not overpowering, even though they are big and long.
Hardaway and O'Neal, they wanted that lob there. They're going to hit, however, Scott for the three. In the corner, long rebound out to Starks. Has to beat Koncak. And decides to pull it out. 5 minutes to go in the quarter.
Hopefully everything goes wrong, Bob.
Smith was going to cut.
Yeah, he was anticipating. He's a frustrated coach.
15 turnovers tonight for the Knicks. They're shooting 40%. Scott on the drive. O'Neal with 7 to shoot. Now Scott with 3. Illegal defense called by Mike.
Illegal defense warning against the Knicks.
That's the first. It'll be inbounded on the sideline.
Warning, New York. Next is a
New shot clock. Nelly has that look as this is one of those nights. Shaquille pounds it inside over Ewing. Rebound Mason. Trying to post, and they've got a bit of a mismatch here with Smith. He puts it on the floor and has it stripped.
Again.
Anderson behind the back to Scott. Timeout, New York.
If you're going to play a big unit, the big unit will not get the transition baskets for you. So you rely on them to give you excellent half-court execution. Orlando is reducing it into turnovers, and here they are on the break.
Bulls Pacers Tuesday at 8 on TNT.
Boston, Milwaukee leading Philadelphia in the fourth period. Detroit in front of Miami, playing some defense there. Miami only 68 points. Atlanta in front of New Jersey, and Chicago in front of Toronto. Don't forget, for all the scores and highlights, as well as the rest of the world in sports, tune in to CNN Sports tonight at 11 Eastern Time with Nancy Newman and Paul Crane. Shaquille had Ewing very deep. Scott late getting him the ball. He's going to get the three. Rebound. Mason. Starks gets the jumper. It's a three. Mike Mathis gives him a three. Then he goes back and defers to the other official, who gives him two.
Yeah, which he should, because Kenny Maurer was right on top of that.
Joe Wolf from 16. Won't miss many of those, does this time. Shaquille can't handle it. Ewing posted down low. He can't handle the ball. Slippery. Blocked. Shaquille. 3 against 3. That's 5 O'Neal blocks tonight. Mason trying to defend Hardaway. Does a good job. Rebound Ewing.
This group is doing a pretty good job defensively, getting and holding Orlando to one shot. Unfortunately, they cannot capitalize at this end of the floor.
Back down to Mason on the post up against Hardaway. That's the double team. O'Neal leaves Ewing for the shot. Rebound Joe Wolf. One shot and out of there.
Yeah, Ewing and Oakley only have one offensive rebound between them. Give Shaq and Koncak and Wolf a lot of credit.
Shaquille with the spin move inside, and Ewing got the block, but Wolf runs down the loose ball. All the free balls are going tonight to Orlando. That's a triple, 80-59. The Magic, 2:07 to go in the period, and Mike Mathis and Shaquille O'Neal with some words here.
Well, O'Neal thought that he was fouled on the shot. Ewing gets away with some contact on the block.
Double foul on Ewing and O'Neal. 3 on O'Neal and 3 on Ewing now.
You'll see it now as he spins to the base. See, he gets him right across the elbow. That was definitely a foul.
Now a technical has been called by Mike Mathis.
A technical foul on number 32, Shaquille O'Neal.
And it's on O'Neal.
Well, Shaq definitely has a point, Bob. I mean, the replay shows that it was a crash right across the elbow. That's the reason for the shot being short.
Mike Mathis in no great sense of humor anyway. Mike was the man who was the lead official in the labor negotiations between the referees and the NBA, and took a lot of heat both inside and outside his organization during those negotiations. Tough job, and when you come back, you've still got that on your mind.
How can you be right when you represent a group where everyone is not in unison, and then when you vote, the vote is decided by only one vote? So naturally, one group is for you, the other group is not, and yet you're in there trying to benefit the welfare of the entire membership of your union.
How about this? Orlando shooting 27% this quarter, but they haven't lost a point from the lead. Amazing. With 10 on the shot clock, Charles Smith hits a 2, minute 50 to go in the period.
Well, with this group out there, before they brought in Hubert Davis, you've only had Charles Smith and Starks as potential perimeter shooters.
Hardaway backing in, looking for the pass to Dennis Scott against Charles Oakley. 5 to shoot. 3. Going to be tough. Hardaway has to take a 30-footer. That's a shot clock violation. And by the way, Shaquille O'Neal went to the bench because he has a cut lip. You see him soaking it up into the towel.
The Knicks have got
to go. Third
yeah,
quarter.
we know that they're down big, 19, and you're saying, well, the game is over. It's never over in the NBA, but they've got to show us a little bit more at this end of the floor, because the opportunities are there for them.
Minute to go in the third quarter. New shot clock down to 15. Posting up Charles Smith, going to get a hold on Joe Wolf.
Foul number 12, Joe Wolf.
They're very slow and methodical in sliding into what they want to do. But any time that you put 4 big guys like they had out there into these type of situations, those things will happen. Right now, Don has gone away from it. He has Hubert Davis in there with Starks right now, but the front line is still hesitant.
Now Mason isolated against Concac. Tough matchup for Mason. Spins it inside, gets the basket, draws the personal. It's, of course, quicker than Concac, and he used the quickness to get the hoop. Only 8 points tonight for Mason, and the foul will be on Concac.
Well, he's been very silent this evening, especially when you consider that is the 10th time that they've posted him up. And nothing is happening on double teams, so they're forcing him to be the key guy.
There's that one-handed free throw attempt. He struggles from the line also. Maybe it's the shoes. The Anthony Mason shoes have about as dizzying a logo on them and design as do those of Shaquille.
Well, New York 6 for 13 in foul shooting, but Mason only a 61% throughout his career on the foul line. Joe Wolf just got injured. You can see
a hard pass went in. It looks like a twisted ankle for Joe Wolf as the Knicks try to come down and take advantage of that with no timeout being called. That'll give Hubert Davis the chance to knock down 3.
That's what you have to look for. Force the action, try to get it up, and then now that you have Starks as well as Davis, 2 of the high three-point shooters in the league, they will open up, go in first, and then kick it out.
7 straight New York Knicks points have cut the lead to 14 with 8 seconds in the third period. Pick and roll. Hardaway. Nobody in the middle to play Hardaway. He gets the uncontested lay-in with 2.5 to go in the period. From half court. 82-66 Orlando with 12 minutes to play. Penny Hardaway, 9 points in this quarter.
It's time for the Chrysler.
An alter ego.
Who's the man with the serious moves? Who's the man with the coolest shoes?
The new Air Penny from Nike.
In national news, Senators King and Christie of New Hampshire were
Well, I guess Spike Lee wasn't available.
Hey, Penny, I've got a doll of my own. Sporty Craig wants to have a little one-on-one with Little Penny.
Well, Little Penny's post-up game isn't worth 2 cents, but Sporty Craig, he'll slam dunk you in the point slot any day.
See you at the All-Star game.
All right.
All right, we're back live now. The missed basket, and Orlando is back, leading 82-66. 11:30 to go in this game.
The field goal shooting at the end of 3. Orlando 46, New York 41. But 2 stats. New York with 16 turnovers, and they have missed 7 foul shots.
Nick Anderson misses the turnaround. Hubert Davis with a rebound. Knicks running now. The Knicks have the guards back on the floor. They've gone small again. Here's Harper hard to the hoop. Rebound Joe Wolf.
The Knicks out there with Hubert Davis, Starks, and Harper, with Oakley up front and Mason. So they're a small team relying on Oakley to handle a shot.
And the foul is going to be against Oakley before the entry pass. And for Charles Oakley, that'll be his 4th.
You can see Shaq has, you know, a patch right across the right side of his face, right above his lip.
Mason and Oakley defending Shaquille O'Neal. Joe Wolf gets the pass from Scott. Nice ball movement. Pass to Scott, and Wolf cuts to the free throw line.
They've had it all night, Bob. They're really doing an excellent job making the extra pass. Anytime that the Knicks do double team, they have the patience to find the people.
Harper cuts to the hoop and gets the pass from Anthony Mason. 84-68 Orlando. 10:31 to go in this game.
The Knicks haven't done that 5 times in this game tonight.
Donald Royal. He's a slasher, but he slashes into Charles Oakley.
Yeah, Oakley was late that time with the rotation. Oakley, one of the best front court people that we have in this league at rotating and taking charges. Now they're coming with another small guy. They're bringing in Charlie Ward. They're going to play right now with 4 guards and Anthony Mason. Now, I would be shocked if Orlando just does not go in and post up. They'll just post them up time and time again.
Anderson posting here. There's the double team. Nelson says, if big doesn't work, I'll go small, and this is tiny. Anderson posting, pitching to Shaw.
See, this is where you'll hurt him also.
That'll be Orlando ball.
You not only hurt him in the post-ups, which will cause the double teams, but then you'll hurt them on the offensive glass.
Charlie Ward. Inside, tough shot. Shaquille was there. Rebound. Joe Wolf. Ryan Shaw. Dug away by the Knicks. 15 on the shot clock for Orlando.
I like that. Anytime you post Shaq in front of the basket, in the lane, at the dotted line, the defender plays behind him. Just hit him with the ball. He'll just shoot up over the top of Mason at will.
Shaw. Over Wolf.
Oh, tough shot. Tough shot.
Lead back to 18.
Foul number 12, Joe Wolf.
It's on Joe Wolf, the personal.
Well, Harper, they're calling him the old man. The Knicks have Harper at 34 years of age, Ewing at 33, Oakley at 31, Smith at 30, Starks at 30. Harp says they're trying to bury me, Eubie, and I think I'm having a good year.
Couple of final scores from NBA action tonight. Indiana holds Dallas to 79. Kidd is back. Milwaukee beat Philadelphia at Philly. The big dog with 19.
Well, Harper's having a wonderful year. From a year ago, he's up 5 points to 16 a game. His field goal percentage shooting at 47, he's up. His three-point shooting is up. His foul shooting is up 7 points from 72 to 79%. And he's already scored over 20 8 times this year. He did that 8 times in an entire season last year.
10 on the shot clock. Anderson with the penetration and loses the ball. 5 on the shot clock for Orlando. 9:03 to go in the game. The lead at 16.
5 seconds to shoot.
The Knicks have done a fairly decent job tonight in running at the three-point shooters, forcing them to put the ball down and dribble inside of that three.
With 2 on the shot clock, the steal. The clock goes off, but the ball had already changed hands, and Derek Harper gets the lay-in, and it is now a 14-point Magic lead. The Knicks had cut it to 14 earlier in the third quarter before Orlando expanded the lead then.
Plenty of time here now. They have Harper playing Nick Anderson and Hubert Davis on Royal.
Shaw, open lane, misses the little short runner.
Keep pushing now. Keep pushing. Get it down inside, then look to kick out if you don't have anything.
Anthony Mason. Patrick Ewing. Hubert Davis. Misses the 3. Mason with the rebound.
Oh, you can't get a better look than that.
Ewing. Air ball. And the foul on Hubert Davis. Ewing 5 of 18 tonight.
Foul number 44, Hubert Davis.
The strategy is good, but the shots are not falling. One thing about Don Nelson, he's not going to sit there and just mail it in. He's tried the big lineup. It didn't get anything done. They did close it down to about 13, but then they brought it back out. Now he goes to the small lineup. He's just trying. He just had it down to 14. 2 good wide open looks at the other end of the floor.
And as you see, 53% from the line doesn't help the Knicks cause either. 88-72, 8:07 to go in the game.
In all the intangibles, they just can't get it done tonight. The turnovers, the missed foul shots, no points in the paint.
Harper pulled to the floor on the drive, and Brian Shaw will be called for the foul as Anthony Hardaway re-enters the game.
Well, he's saying it's not intentional, but you know, that's beside the point. The point is that, you know, the player was tripped and he did fall to the floor. Now keep an eye on this. Now you're going to see it right there. Inadvertent knee to thigh.
Ewing backing in against Shaquille. Double pumps. Shaquille got a piece of that. Hardaway gets the rebound.
I'll tell you, the big fella said, oh, yes, and he's running. Oh, he tried to save that one.
Harper. That's a 2. Back to 14-point Orlando lead with 7:32 to go. Brian Hill knows in the NBA it's not over with a 14-point lead and 7.5 left.
Absolutely, Bob. The big thing right now is Orlando's got to get high percentage shots, get down inside. If you don't get the shot, get to the foul line.
Well, there's a high percentage shot. O'Neal battling inside, and he's going to get to the foul line.
Well, they're small. When that shot went up, you have 3 small guys. Their first inclination is to get out on the break, leaving Ewing in there. Boom. Now just keep an eye on this. As the shot goes up, he is blocked out, but he just comes back inside. The guards have got to get back in there and help Patrick and rebound.
Yo, wipe this up.
Shaq knocks down the free throw. He's missed his last 8 field goal attempts, has Shaquille O'Neal. He was 9 of 12 at the half and is 3 of 7 from the line.
Well, you know, Bob, when he was at LSU, he shot 57%. Since he's been in the NBA, he's shooting 55%. Starting tonight's game, shooting 55%.
And there's 50% on that trip. 90-74, 16-point Orlando lead with 7:12 to go. The Knicks looking for some offense.
Well, Don Nelson very high on Charlie Ward. He really thinks he's going to be an excellent player. Next year will be his year. He's averaging about 10 minutes a game now.
Here's Ward. There's that athletic ability, but Ward misses the lay-in. Of course, you know he's the Heisman Trophy winner and played point guard in basketball for Florida State Seminoles.
Well, they made it worth his while by paying him over $1 million a year for 5 years to make a commitment to basketball, and he keeps improving. Unfortunately, he's on a difficult team when it comes to minutes at guard.
He's getting more minutes tonight than Gary Grant, which is usually where his minutes go, and Derek Harper is knocking some shots down here, and it's once again a Magic 14-point lead. Harper has 10 in this quarter.
Well, you got to go to the big man. Mason is trying to guard the big fella. Nice skip pass that time.
Wolf, 17-footer. It'll be New York ball. Timeout Orlando with 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the game, and the Magic leading it by 14. Now let's take a look at tonight's Dutch boy in the paint.
Well, you can see that's the difference in the game with the Magic dominating there. And basically, it's Shaquille O'Neal in his matchup with Ewing. 11 extra points, 2 more rebounds, 1 block. But his people are getting him the ball. He's quicker tonight. When you think of the 5 lobs that he's converted, plus the running on the fast break where Ewing was trailing, that's the difference between the production of the 2 centers.
Well, Orlando has certainly given the Knicks a chance to get back in this game. Orlando is up by 14, Hubie, despite hitting 26% from the field in this half.
Now, you made a good point, Bob, because they've had their chances, and they're getting good open looks at the rim. They just cannot put them down tonight, and we're talking about a team that has 3 guys shooting over 44% in threes. It's just not their night.
Hubert Davis had a pick and roll going with Ewing. Ewing had made it. Davis couldn't get him the ball. Illegal defense, Orlando.
Warning against the Magic. Illegal defense warning, Orlando.
That's a warning. They'll inbound with a new shot clock on the sideline.
Orlando needed this win. They got off to a great start in November when they were out there 13-2, but they're only 6-4 in December.
Shaquille with his 6th block, and that, folks, was a hook shot attempt he blocked. As if you didn't see him. Donald Royal inside of Gary Grant. Grant strips it. 14 on the shot clock.
You know, they have Gary Grant matched up with Donald Royal, giving away 5 inches. And you really like the coaching job done here in Orlando. Every time that they have a mismatch, that guy is run right into the post. They force you to double team, and something good happens.
10 to shoot for the Magic. 5:36 in the game. Shaquille, who's missed his last 7 shots, doesn't take it this time. 4 to shoot. Hardaway this time is challenged on the drive, but O'Neal is there for the rebound.
Fine. You know, when he catches the ball in traffic, Bob, he like moves to the rim, and you say, is there anyone there? There are 3 guys there.
Harper answers quickly. By the way, join our network NBA partners, NBC, for a Christmas Day doubleheader. All the action beginning at 3 Eastern Time. San Antonio, Phoenix, and Houston, Orlando. That's what we were talking about earlier. Akeem versus Shaquille. That'll be a beauty. I'll be watching. Offensive foul called on Hardaway.
You have 5 minutes to go in this game. You're down 14. You got a big chance. Now, you can see this right here. They call out a foul. Penny's saying, hey, wait a second. I have the same status as Ewing. Did you check last year? I was first team All-NBA. All right.
Harper defended by Brian Shaw. Under 5 minutes. Harper throws up a prayer that isn't answered that time. 92-78 Orlando. This one is all over but the shouting now. Knicks made a little bit of a run in this 4th quarter. Cut it to 14, but could do no better. And Scott should pull up, will go down, and Dennis, who loves playing on national television, is got 17 tonight, which is below his TV average. We should tell him about this.
Well, his TV games this year, he's averaging 24 points a game, 20 for the season.
Good ball movement this time, and Derek Harper, who had been hitting from the outside, misses. Ewing with the rebound, the strip from Shaquille, and Ewing has to grab the Shaq man.
Well, Shaq has done everything else. He might as well lead the break.
Dennis Scott, speaking of prime time, that's what he does on non-national versus national TV games.
I mean, it's just interesting how he can get up and open up and then make the shots.
I talked to Bobby Crimmins recently, told him that when he was at Georgia Tech, the problem was he didn't have Dennis on national television enough.
There you go.
It's always the coach's fault, you know.
See, last year, in all the games that they were on television, he played in 19 of them, and he went from 12 to 16. This year, you see, he's up from 20 to 24.
Also for the Knicks, number 20.
And what does Dennis want to be after his career is over? He wants to go into television.
The Shaq man, you know, Bob, when he came in the league his first year, he led the league in turnovers at 3.7 a game. The next year, he cut it down to 2.7. His 3rd year, 2.6. This year, he's only turning it over 2.0. Yeah, he's really made great strides in reading the double teams and picking out the free people.
Doug Christie and Monty Williams, who rarely play for the Knicks, are getting some playing time in this blowout. Rebound, Nick Anderson. 3:55 to go. Reminder, coming up after this jam by Shaquille O'Neal, we'll be going out to the West Coast to the Forum in Los Angeles. O'Neal now with 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 blocks. And once again, he has had a dominating night against Patrick Ewing. Charlie Ward missed his shot, got his own rebound, and gets it to Doug Christie for the lay-in.
Now, Doug Christie was a first-round draft choice at Seattle out of Pepperdine. He was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, played with the Lakers for a couple of years, then traded to the Knicks last season.
Shaquille looking for 30. Shaquille's averaging 29.3 a game in second place if he were listed, had played enough games in NBA scoring. Behind Michael Jordan, Dennis Scott. Not this time, rebound Christie. Yet another New York Knicks turnover, which has been one of the stories of this game.
Penny was looking for the big fella to roll, but the big fella was watching.
Gary Grant gets the lay-in. 18 Knicks turnovers tonight, but it's garbage time from here on in. 16-point Orlando lead with 2:45 to go.
Timeout, New York. Knicks.
And we got a timeout. With 2:42 remaining, it'll be Sacramento against the Los Angeles Lakers coming up after this ball game. Horace Grant did not play tonight, causing Orlando some trepidation to begin the game, and it was wasted trepidation because John Koncak started at power forward for Horace Grant tonight, and that, if there was any single difference that happened in this ball game that's been dominated for Orlando, it was the Koncak stepping in and playing as though Horace Grant was in there.
Well, he did a great job in blocking up the lane. They posted Anthony Mason 7 times in that first quarter, and nothing happened because Koncak would rotate in, either intimidate the shot, force the pass out, and then he held the one shot and started a lot of fast breaks. Now, Orlando is having a big weekend. Had the game tonight. Tomorrow night they're at Detroit, and then Monday they're home with Houston.
Detroit got a victory tonight, as did the Atlanta Hawks at the Omni over New Jersey. Ward down inside to Monty Williams. This is the player out of Notre Dame. Good move in the paint by Monty. It won't fall. Nothing does. Why should it? Loose ball foul.
Charles Smith over the back that time, trying to get to the offensive board. Now, Monty Williams is the young man who had some heart problems while he played at Notre Dame, was an outstanding player for the Fighting Irish. Came into the league from a big forward position in college, playing small forward here, and then to have to battle Mason and Charles Smith for playing time. Not an easy job.
2:26 remaining. Remember, Sacramento at the Los Angeles Forum right after this. Sacramento only half a game out of first place in the Pacific Division behind Seattle.
Now, remember that the Knicks lost Greg Anthony in the expansion draft to Vancouver, and then Bonner was an unrestricted free agent, and by the way, did not get picked up by any NBA team.
Which surprised me because I thought Bonner did a good job for the Knicks last year. Always made something happen.
Yeah, he sure did. He's a live body, can play defense, board, and run the lanes for you. Knicks going to a little bit of trapping at half court.
Now, mark that down.
Mark that down is right.
Stop the presses. Dennis Scott passed up a three.
He sure did.
Anderson won't. Charles Smith to Charlie Ward.
Nice move.
To Gary Grant.
I like the eye contact between Grant, who was in the right corner, backdoored that time, and then Ward getting into the middle of the lane and finding him with a nice pass.
Getting some needed experience tonight is young Charlie Ward, despite the loss. 100-84, Magic by 16. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Anthony Bowie has 2, gives it up to Anderson from 28 feet. There's the lob ahead to Gary Grant. who missed the lay-in, followed by Monty Williams.
Well, you always tell players, try not to lay the ball up over the front of the rim on the fast break. It's amazing how many times that happens. You hit the back of the rim. Lay it up off the glass.
The lob inside to Anderson. Now Scott will take the three.
Why not?
He said, I waited long enough. Dennis Scott has 23. He's getting close to his TV average now.
We've just seen tonight some great unselfish play, but then the defense for Orlando tonight has been excellent. Back-to-back weeks. A great job last week against Utah. Another solid job this evening.
This is the first of 4 meetings this year between the Knicks and the Orlando Magic. Magic and Knicks played 5 times last year, both winning at home. 2 times the Knicks up there, 3 times Orlando down here. You and I have been here for 3 Fridays in a row at Orlando as Santa Claus schedule maker, getting us in Florida for December.
Bowie with a 3. I like his game. He's a terrific energizer to come off as your 4th guard, coming off the bench, fills the lanes, really makes things happen.
Dennis Scott. Charlie Ward, who's battling for playing time, isn't going to give him that uncontested, even though 6.6 seconds remains. Not in our face, says Charlie, but Shaquille O'Neal tonight did everything that you had expected. Here we go with Charlie Ward's defensive play. 28 points, 12 rebounds, 6 blocks from Shaquille. Ewing tonight, just a nightmare for Patrick. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 4 blocks, but only 5 of 20 from the floor was Patrick.
Yeah, the total production up front. Mason, Oakley, Ewing, subpar. You can't get the job done on the road against a team who is as hot as Orlando is at home. 14-0 now.
That's going to be the end of this one. It wasn't pretty. Wish we had had a closer game between these 2 Atlantic Division rivals, only separated by half a game coming into this game for the lead in the Atlantic. Now it's a game and a half as Orlando blows New York off the court in the first quarter and never gave up the lead. Here's Craig Sager.
Well, one of the surprise announcements at the beginning of the game, John Koncak starting for Horace Grant. New York has 3 of the top rebounders in the game. You did a tremendous job. How were you guys so effective, particularly in the first half, keeping them out of the paint?
Well, Craig, obviously with their big guys up front, we wanted to come out and control the rebounds, and we did that tonight. We jumped out to a 19-point lead after the first quarter, and I think when you get them down, they really have a hard time coming back. So we played great. I really thought Shaq really did a great job against Patrick tonight. When we play like that, we're pretty good.
After playing out your contract in Atlanta, what type of start did you look at for you and your career coming here to Orlando?
Well, obviously I came down here as a backup, and I've started 20 games at center and another one at power forward, and I think 2 guard and point guard are next. So it's been great. I've really enjoyed it. Things are going well, and I'm glad to be here.
Rather than being a consistent starter, are you happy being a role player, doing the dirty work, the stuff that you don't get credit for except when Hubie Brown does the game?
Well, I think so. I came down here to help this team win a championship, and I really hope I'm the last piece that they need, and hopefully we'll be playing in the finals again this year.
Well, great job once again tonight. Let's go back to Bob and Hubie.
All right, thank you, Craig. And we're with Nick Anderson, another Chicago, and of course that's always made me a little prejudiced about you, Nick. Anderson with 9 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists tonight, holding John Starks to 7. You came up a near triple-double the other night against Minnesota, and your coach today handed you the compliment. He said a lot of accolades go to Shaquille and Anderson, etc., but Nick, Shaquille and Hardaway, but Nick Anderson is the glue here tonight.
My thing is for this team, you know, I know that Penny and Shaq are all-stars. Some guys can't accept that. I know my role is to come out and play good, solid defense and try to get this team going. You know, points doesn't matter. I know the points could come if I just play good defense, and the shots would come because you have to double Hardaway and O'Neal. My thing is just to go out and get this team jump-started, good defense, make good defensive plays, and get the guys going.
Nick, the game plan tonight, you went right at Starks early. You forced them to break down from a defensive end.
Well, that was our game plan. You know, Starks was on me, and I want to get him down in that paint and, you know, try to do my thing on him. We got him down there early. We got some quick fouls on him. And then they had to go with a smaller lineup, 2-guard. They brought in Davis. We go back down in the post. We try to work the guards. I think we're bigger and we're stronger, so we're going to take them down in the post.
Well, let's talk about the unselfish play. Now, you've been here since day one. You were the first guy and came out as a junior out of Illinois, and you've seen this team grow. What makes the difference even between this year and last year with the unselfish passing of the ball?
Well, you know, like I said before, nobody on this team gives a heck of who scores the points, who gets all the credit. We like sharing the basketball. I'll give it up anytime. The man close to the basket, the man who's open, give him the ball, make something happen. I could say 100 things about this club, but that's the one thing that stands out the most. Is so unselfish.
Nick, how about this tonight? We looked at Hubie and I were speechless. Late in the ball game, Dennis Scott out here had a three and was open, held it, and passed it up. How about that one?
Well,
now, you have not seen that often.
No, I haven't. But well, we had to leave. We don't want to go out try to embarrass anyone. That's just good basketball of Dennis Scott. We had to leave. There's no need to, try to just pound it and pound it.
I got one question now. Why the losses on the road?
Well, I can say this for Toronto. We were not prepared. Starting from me on down the line, we did not come prepared. And you have to give the credit to Toronto. They came to play basketball. The Orlando Magic did not come to play.
But, Nick, last year you end up on the road 18-23. This year 6-6. Playing great in this building. But what is it? What's the major factor? I mean, you know how important the road wins are because you're trying to stay in contention and win your division, because at the end you want home court in the majority of the lineups.
Yeah. I don't know whether it was because Toronto, expansion team, everybody came in and were expecting to win. This ball club, they beat some good teams up in Toronto, and maybe that's what happened. We came in, we playing Toronto, and Toronto came to play, and the Orlando Magic didn't.
Nick, I called you St. Nick most of the night tonight. I was kidding you about the picture in the paper. I know you didn't do this for publicity, but congratulations on the shopping spree that you personally did yourself for the toys for the kids.
All right, I just wanted to make some kids' Christmas a joyful one. Sometimes it's not as possible, and they're not as fortunate as I am.
Well, Nick, congratulations. You're having a wonderful year.
Thank you.
Nick Anderson, one of the key cogs in this awesome Orlando Magic basketball team, with a 111-90 win tonight, and the Knicks suffered their worst loss of the season here in Orlando.
There are.
As you look at the game summary, New York only 39% from the field, 53% from the line, 18 turnovers, and the Magic got their 21st consecutive home win. That's the longest streak at home in the NBA.
Yeah, the New York Knicks need major production every night against a quality team from Ewing and then also Oakley and Mason. Very quiet this evening.
Well, the Orlando Magic struggling a little bit since Shaquille came back as they tried to make adjustments. Get a big win for them tonight, which will settle them in, probably redevelop some of that confidence they had up till a week ago. Back to wrap it up after this.
Bulls Pacers, Tuesday at 8 on TNT.
Every few years, the world gathers.
Orlando just clobbers their Atlantic Division rival New York Knicks, 111-90 tonight. Stay with us for Game 2 of our doubleheader now as we go out to the Forum in Los Angeles for the surprising Sacramento Kings and the Los Angeles Lakers. For Hubie Brown and Craig Sager and our entire TNT sports crew, this is Bob Neal saying happy holidays and good night from the Arena in Orlando.
Tires are flying at Pep Boys.